In the 2017 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns used the 4th overall pick to select the Kansas small forward Josh Jackson. Today I want to talk about how the defensive heavy wing went from being a star in the NCAA to being written off as a bust, and how I believe he has found his role in the NBA this season. First, let's talk about his days at Kansas and why he was selected so high in the draft. In the 2016-17 season, Jackson averaged just over 16 points per game on an impressive 51.3% field goal percentage and a 37.8% three-point percentage. He did this while shooting 12 field goals a game and nearly 3 three-pointers a game. Yet a huge offensive struggle he possessed was shooting his free throws. That year, he shot an abysmal 56.6% on 5 free throws a game. He also had 7 games where he missed 4 more free throws and 1 game where he went 0 for 4 from the charity strike. His stats were not the only positive that came out of the 2016 season. That year, the Jayhawks, led by Jackson himself and Frank Mason III, finished off the regular season with a 31-5 record. They received an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament as the number 1 seed in the Midwest region. They had a successful run up until after being selected 4th overall by the Phoenix Suns. Jackson was thrown into an incredibly young and dysfunctional core. In his rookie season, Jackson truly struggled on the offensive side of the ball. He averaged 13.1 points per game on a 41% field goal percentage on 12 shots per game, and an awful 26.3% three-point percentage on 3 threes a game. He did improve his free throw percentage though, going up from 55.6% in college to 63.4% in his rookie year. Another flaw in his game is his passing numbers. While in college, he averaged just around 3 assists per game, but that number dropped down to 1.5 per game in his rookie season. Meanwhile, those turnovers went down when he hit the NBA. He obviously had a good season defensively, putting up 1 steal and half a block. Overall, he didn't have the worst, but he definitely didn't have the best rookie season, but again, it is just his rookie season. Going into his second season, Jackson was already getting talked about as a potential bust. A lot of analysts did not think he could fit into today's NBA. He did not only have to deal with problems on the floor, as he had problems off the floor dealing with legal issues, fines, and suspension. He first had the legal issues as he had allegedly gotten an infant high on marijuana. He then received a $20,000 fine and a 1-game suspension for missing an autograph event for a family issue. He also dropped in production on the court. Going from his rookie year to his sophomore year, Jackson dropped in points per game by 1.6, rebounds per game by 0.2, steals per game by 0.2, and his turnovers went up by 0.3. However, his shooting splits increased a bit from his rookie year. He stayed around the 41% mark from the field, but went up to 32% from the three-point line, and up to 67.1% from the free throw line. But once the 2018 season ended, Jackson was already being written off by the media and was being shopped by the Phoenix Suns during the 2019 draft. He was later traded in a package deal to the Memphis Grizzlies in free agency, which included picks to Memphis with Jackson, while the Suns received Javon Carter and Kyle Korver. Now in Memphis, Jackson was looking to try and prove Phoenix wrong about him, but the season did not start off the way he would have liked it to, as he started off by playing for the Grizzlies G League team, the Memphis Hustle. Jackson saw this as an opportunity though to show off his talent. He also said in an interview not to feel bad for him. In the G League, Jackson took advantage of his NBA experience and showed out for the Hustle. In 26 games, Jackson averaged just around 20 points per game on good shooting splits of 44.7% from the field, 38% from behind the arc, but he still did struggle with his free throws, shooting 60% from the charity strike. Outside of his improvement in the scoring department, he also did pull down a career-high 7.5 rebounds and 4.3 assists. After his great play in the G League, Jackson was called up to the Memphis Grizzlies on January 28, 2020. Since being called up, Jackson has become a solid role player to help this young Grizzly core in the Western Conference playoff race. In just 18 games for Memphis, Jackson has averaged just over 10 points per game, 3 rebounds, and over 1 steal. He did all this on 44% from the field and 32% from behind the arc on 4 threes a game. From being a star in college to a top 5 pick to being written off after just 2 seasons, Jackson showed in 2020 that he can become a great role player on a good team, bringing phenomenal defense and a solid jump shot.